Dear man, please be to your woman as God is to the man. The best way to relate to a woman is to relate to a woman as a God. This is the right place and the right position that God has actually placed you as a man. And immediately you leave this position, then you are creating a problem that you will not be able to solve. Just begin to understand and look the way God is to man, the way mysterious God is to man, the characteristics of God towards man. These are the same thing that God wants you to possess, towards the woman, because that is what the scripture stated. God is the head of a man, and a man should be the head of a woman. There are several ways that God relates to a man, and it's the same way that a man should copy, which I'm going to be highlighting in this particular video. So it's very, very important that you pay attention to the very end. God has made everything available to all creatures, but those things God has made available, they are not all accessible. God provided everything we need as men, as those God created, as the creatures of God. But those things God has made available, they are not accessible to everyone. How does that apply in your marriage or relationship with your woman? You can make available all provision. It is your duty, and it's very important that you make available every provision that you think that your woman will need. But don't make them to be accessible all the time that she wants it. You must be able to control whatsoever that you think that you are giving to her. You must be able to safeguard them. You must be able to protect them. You release it as at when due. You release it when it is a need, not when it is a want. Because when you don't apply the principles on how God relates with man and use that same way to relate to a woman, you will make mistake, you will squander your wealth, you will squander your effort, and at the end, the woman will blame you. And if care is not taken, she may even leave you and move on with her life. When God relates to man, God always creates boundaries. No matter how close you are to God, no matter how powerful, no matter how prayerful you are to God, there is always a boundary. God always creates a boundary. So it's important that as a man, you create a boundary. If you study the scripture very well, you will discover on how even Moses wanted to see God. He was so close to God, and God even confirmed that by saying that, Moses, I talk with him mouth to mouth. If you read the scripture very well, when Moses married a woman that he's not supposed to marry, and those that were following him started complaining that why did he marry from that family, and God told them to keep quiet, and he was asking them that, Moses, I talk with Moses mouth to mouth. So even as close as Moses is to God, he wanted to see the face of God, but there was a boundary. God said, no, you can't see my face, because when you see my face, you will die. There are several things you should not allow your woman to see, because when they see it, they will die. How do they die? Their emotions will die. Their respect for you will die. Are you following me? Their honor that they have for you will die. So there are several things you shouldn't let them know. Have a boundary. Create a boundary on the things you reveal. Create a boundary on the things you release. Create a boundary on the things you give out. Create a boundary on the matters you discuss. Always have a boundary. It is a principle of God. That's the way God relates to a man. So when you apply the same principle, it also works for you and everyone around you. Have a principle. And I tell you that one of the ways to actually discover a woman that cannot live with you forever is when you have a principle, when you have boundaries. When you have boundaries, it easily, fetch out women that are not ready to be with you, because most women are not ready to keep boundaries. They see boundaries as threat. They see boundaries as maltreatment. So make sure you have boundaries, because any woman that will be able to keep your boundaries, keep your principles, is a sign that at least there is something good that can come out from there, because it will help you to filter the bad ones away. God has made provisions for every man and everyone that he created, but for you to actually access those provisions, you must work for it. Men, stop giving out things free to women. Allow them to qualify for it. Allow them to work for you. You just met a girl yesterday. You just spoke to her, and the next moment you are showering gift. You are pouring her gift. Tell me why she will not insult the man that had been speaking to her for a long time that have not bought her gift, because that man actually know the right thing to do. You that have decided not to use your brain because you know nothing to do. You just met her, just spoke to her, just spoke with her, and before you know, you are showering gift. Make provisions available, but don't make them accessible. That's the way God relates to man. If God should make every provision He has made available to us and make them accessible to us, most of us won't even serve God again. Most of us will not follow God again. These principles may be difficult for you to apply, but it's important that you learn it, because when you learn it, it will help you a lot in your life. To access God's provision, you have to work for it. You have to work for it. God doesn't invest, in a life that is not ready to progress. I'm telling you the simple truth. For you to access God's provision, you have to pay the price. You have to fast and pray. You have to pray very well. You have to be patient. At times, long suffering may even enter inside. All right. So don't stop being porous in releasing everything you have. No. Let the provisions be available, but before it can be accessible, make sure the person work for it and pay the price. How do they pay the price? Humility, loyalty, truthfulness, openness, and submissiveness. These are the things that can qualify her to have access to your provisions. One of the ways that God actually relates to man is that God loves us deeply. God loves us unconditionally, but God does not give us everything we want. The same way that a man should love a woman passionately, love her without condition, unconditionally, love her deeply, but don't give her everything she wants. It's a principle. That's where God relates to us. Did God not love us? Yes, He loved us. Did God give us everything that we want at every time? No, because those things we may not qualify for them, and those things we may not need them, but to us we think that we needed them. But God knows better than us. Every man should know better than their women. It's very important. Love them unconditionally, love them deeply, but don't give them everything that they want. Because when you do, what you are doing actually is that you are feeding her ego. When you give a woman everything she needs, you are feeding her greed, you are feeding her ego, because women are not satisfied. The more they grow, the more they want to grow. The more they have it, the more they want to have it. The more you give to them, the more they expect more. All right. If you used to give your woman a little amount of money and you increase it, she's not expecting you to go below that. She's expecting you to give her the more. Okay. So make sure that you love her deeply, but don't give her everything she wants. It's a principle of God. It's not wickedness. So you have to learn it to help you. Let me tell you this. If God should give to men everything that men want, we will stop going to God. If God now, by His infinite mercy, because of love, and so, okay, let me give to man everything they need, let them have access to everything, God will never be relevant to us again. Nobody will go to church. Nobody will pray. Nobody will remember. Nobody will remember God. The name of God will no longer be mentioned. The same way, if a man gives to a woman everything she wants, give her access to everything she needed and everything she wanted, man will become irrelevant. That is what you discover today. Any woman you see that is doing well financially, they find it difficult to be humbled. They find it difficult to submit to a man, because they feel that the man is not important, the man is not relevant. Because one of the major ways that women equate men is their financial capacity. If you cannot feed them, they will see that you are not capable enough, that you are not man enough. Yeah, one of the way women rate men by capacity is ability for you to feed them, and that's everything boils down to finance. Okay, so don't give her everything she wants. If she have everything she wants, she will stop coming to you, and that automatically render you irrelevant and makes you, useless. She will not have any need for you again. Haven't you heard some women say, I don't need a man, I have this, I have that, I don't need a man? All right, so make sure you always keep her in her toes, to make her keep coming. Love her deeply, but always have something that will make her keep coming, surprises and all that. Another way you must relate to a woman, the same way that God relates to a man, is that God is a mystery to man. Till today, God remains a mystery to man. God remains a mystery to man. God has never revealed everything about Him to man. Till today, we are still asking, we are still finding, we are still praying, we are still meditating to make sure we know God the more. The same way that a man should remain mysterious to a woman. You cannot predict God. Do not allow a woman to predict you. Once people can predict you, then they can plan you, they can do to you whatever they want to do to you, then you have no relevance anymore. Remain mysterious to a woman so that she will not be able to plan you or to predict you. It will help you and it will help her as well, because once a woman knows that they can plan you, they can predict you, they will no longer value you. Nothing will be new to them. They have you in their palms. They can calculate you and do whatever they want. I tell you the truth, man should remain a mystery to a woman until he dies. Until you leave this earth, remain a mystery to a woman. Give to her whatever you want to give to her. Surprise her whatever you want to surprise her. Love her deeply and unconditionally, but remain mysterious. There are times that a woman will ask you a question and they want you to give the answer immediately. They'll start pressuring you. You don't pressure God to answer questions. No. You don't pressure God. No matter the question, no matter the urgency of the question, God will answer you when He wants to answer you. You can't question Him. You can't force Him. You can't trick God. Whatever God wants to do, He will do. So this is a principle that every man should learn and begin to apply in his life. Okay? Remain mysterious. When she asks for something, respond to her as at when due. If it's a request, give her the answer as at when due, and you will discover that your value will be maintained. God bless you. If you watched to this time and you found this video interesting, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like the video, and share to everyone in your contact list, because this video will get to somebody and that person will actually thank God that they just made this video. All right. I want to say a very big thanks to every one of you that have subscribed to the channel, and if you have not subscribed, please kindly hit the subscription button right there and subscribe to the channel. I've actually recommended similar videos to you, as you can see right there on the screen, and I'm trusting God as you watch them, more knowledge will be imparted. Bye for now. See you in my next video.